This is CityCast Philly. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Dating can be so expensive these days, but Philly has plenty of things to do to keep your relationship fresh or land that second date. There's workout classes, bike rides, and discount opera tickets that won't leave you broke. So we're listening back to our roundup of fun, creative, and cheap date ideas. Senior producer Abby Fritz is here with me to talk about budget-friendly date ideas under $25. Abby, so when I was brainstorming like the perfect date, I was thinking of activities where we can work together, like some sort of team building activity. I feel like I really want to get to know you. And what's your patience level? Like,
Yeah, totally. You want to see how they do under pressure. You want to see how they problem solve. You got to figure out how their brain works. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I was thinking, what if one of our dates could be at Barcade in Center City? So we can like grab some tokens, like $5 or $10 worth of tokens, and battle each other in Mortal Kombat or a game of like classic NBA, which sometimes I really don't know how to play those like arcade games. I'm just like tapping the buttons like and hopefully something works.
No, yeah. And I think Barcade in particular is so fun because there's so many different options there. You can literally play whatever you want. I went the other day and was like racing my friend, and it was funny because she doesn't have a license and I kept beating her and I was like, haha, it's because you don't have a license.
And the car's like driving up the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like it's really choose your own adventure too. And if it's like, if one thing is like not landing, if you like don't know how to play NBA and you're like, I'm over this, there's so many options there. So it's good to maybe like for a first date vibe, because if you don't know the person super well, you're going to find something they like.
Yeah. All right. So another idea I had is let's take the Broad Street line, right? Save some money. Let's take the Broad Street line and head into the NRG station and check out a Flyers or Phillies game, right? You'll probably be sitting in the nosebleed section if you're looking for some cheap tickets, but who cares, right? You're there for the great Philly sports vibes. Now, generally, any Eagles season game ticket is going to be like way more than $25.
Yeah.
But you might be able to land a deal with the other Philly sports teams. And I just want to, say that the concessions are not cheap, but getting to the game is. So if you need an idea for someone in your life who's like a sports lover, maybe this is it.
And do you want to know a secret, Trenae?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Okay, when I went to a Flyers game the other day with my cousin, I snuck half of a cheesesteak in my jacket. So if for some reason, I don't know, I had a big leather jacket on. It was when it was a little colder, and I had half of a cheesesteak in like the inside pocket of my jacket. And I honestly kind of forgot about it because we walked to the game from the place where we got food, and I left it in there. And then I walked in and I was like, oh my God, I have half a cheesesteak in my pocket. I don't need to buy anything.
Abby, you forgot you had a cheesesteak in your coat pocket. It's crazy.
I had a cheesesteak. It was like half left. Like we had eaten like an hour before. So it was just like in there hanging out. And I walked in with it and no one clocked it. Because I would have just thrown it away. But all I'm saying, maybe, I don't know if it'll work. Maybe you don't need to buy the concessions because you accidentally snuck in a cheesesteak to a Flyers game. So that's
crazy.
it.
I love it. All right, Abby, you got some ideas?
Oh, yeah. I've got plenty of ideas. I am not ashamed to be a cheap date. I love it. So one thing I love to do, and I think is a great like classic date idea, is going to see a movie. And honestly, like movie tickets aren't super expensive, but they're like $15 now. I feel like I'm not going to get away with going to see a movie for one ticket under $15. But I did find a couple that are a lot cheaper. So I'm going to talk about those. The Bach Building down in South Philly, they host a movie club where they do free movies on the first Monday of the month, every single month.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's like Bach is just like a cool spot. And I think it would be fun to go there, and there's restaurants and stuff if you want to do that beforehand, but you got the free movie there. So that's the majority of the date. Then you decide if you want to extend the date after that. Another cheap movie ticket is, again, on Mondays at PFS Bourse, which is in Center City. It is $6 a ticket for a movie. So like, $12 date, you get a bag of popcorn, get a soda, you're good.
Now, you could sneak in some popcorn.
Yes, or you can take...
in your coat pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, apparently I just wear a comically large jacket everywhere and can get anything I want in anywhere.
Okay. I feel like when we're thinking of cheap date ideas, let's just go outside, right? Let's just go into nature. I think that's like one of the things that I love about Philly is that we're surrounded by skyscrapers, row homes, and free parks.
Yes.
So I love to,
absolutely.
Walk and talk. And I think that's another great way to get to know someone. Just take a stroll in FDR Park, Schuylkill River Banks Trail, Forbidden Drive, or the Wissahickon Trail. Those would be great free options. And maybe you could just like pack some water or light snacks just in case so, you don't pass out.
Yeah.
Or, go to the grocery store together and pack a well-budgeted lunch or dinner for you and your date. Pack a blanket and like eat out on Kelly Drive. That's another great spot. You can watch the crew teams rowing up and down the Schuylkill River. You can watch the sunset. Wouldn't that be romantic?
Oh, so romantic. And a picnic is such a fun idea. And especially now that the weather is getting a little warmer, it's a great time to do it. And that honestly, that idea makes me think about like being outside, and when I think of like Kelly Drive and like the Schuylkill River Trail, everybody bikes. And, you don't have to go spend a couple $100s on a bike. You can just go get an Indigo bike. And those rentals are $450 for 30 minutes. So maybe you bike down the Schuylkill River Trail, you set up a little picnic around Kelly Drive for the sunset. That sounds like a cheap date to me.
I wish Indigo Bike actually made bikes for like multiple people.
Oh, like a tandem bike?
Yeah, like
you could both bike together. That would be so fun.
That would be cute.
We need to pitch it to them. And speaking of like the Fairmount area, there's this Instagram account called Find in Philly, and they put up this really interesting reel about Pavilion in the Trees. Do you know what that is?
No.
Pavilion in the Trees was like an art exhibit nature situation that an artist put up in the 90s in Fairmount Park, and it looks like a treehouse. And you can walk across a little bridge, and there's this treehouse, and it's in the middle of Fairmount Park. And people say it's kind of off the beaten path in terms of like, it's not like, you don't just like see it when you walk up, but it's near the Horticultural Center and Shofuso, the Japanese garden. And if you get over there, you just put the name Pavilion in the Trees in Google Maps or whatever, and you can get walking directions to it. And it's this gorgeous, it looks like you're in a jungle, and you get to go and like look out over Fairmount Park. And it's just like a random little spot. So another good spot for like a picnic if you need a like free kind of niche, Philly discovery in a very classic Fairmount Park setting.
I like that. And I was thinking, if you're in that area, you could actually drive up to the plateaus and park your car, and then you could look out and see the entire skyline. That is like such a great spot for after hours.
Yes, a little lover's lane. That's fun. And, if we're getting outside, another thing that's going to be open, it's generally open mid-April through October, is the Philadelphia Horticultural Society has a farm out in Meadowbrook. It's called the PHS Meadowbrook Farm. And I always see when the spring comes around, everybody's going out to do like those flower picking dates where you go to a farm and you like pick flowers and you have a bouquet. So those are expensive. I learned those are pricey, but you could go for free to the PHS farm and you don't get to pick them and take them home with you. But it's like this gorgeous set up farm. It is a little outside of the city in Meadowbrook, but it's a free experience of being in a garden if you don't want to do the flower picking option.
I love that. You know what just dawned on me? I was thinking, well, duh, we live in Philly. Philly has plenty of opportunities of other outdoor activities, and that is the historical sites like Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, Carpenter's Hall, and more. The Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau, they have this like really wonderful list of all of the free places to visit that is, you know, historical, educational. And I feel like that's another way to bond with your boo, especially if they're like history nerds. I think that would be cute.
Oh, yeah. Very classic Philly date moment.
Yeah. We've got more date ideas under $25 after the break. All right, Abby, let's get moving. Not like moving through this episode, but like date ideas that involve like some type of physical activity.
Yes, I'm a sports player. I play rugby. I love being active and getting outside. And there's a couple fairly affordable classes in the city to go to. My favorite yoga studio, Studio 34, out on Baltimore Ave in West Philly. It's really great. They have really affordable classes in general. But if you're trying to stay under $25, they have classes on their calendar marked quote unquote community class. And those are discounted classes that are only going to be $10 each. And it ranges from like ones I've gone to is like the queer yoga and stretch class. They have like, you know, different yoga instructors or meditation classes that are considered community classes. So there's like tons of different things all throughout the week. So I think it would be a cool date activity. If you've got someone active, you've got your eye on.
And it's like you guys can meditate together and just
chill out
all the problems.
Exactly. But if you want to sweat out your problems, what I would do is go to HYP Philly, which is Hot Yoga Philly. Yeah. I've never done it.
Me either.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little stinky. Like, I don't want to sweat and be stinky, like in a class personally. But I think like people love hot yoga. And I don't know, maybe you need to get a little hot and bothered on your date. You know, like that could be fun. Yeah. You can get a deal on your first class. It's $10 for every first timer. So, you know, if you're buying the tickets for the date, you buy the one for yourself and you make your friend buy the other one, and then you bring both to the class because, you know, one email. But you can make it work, and then you have a cool free hot yoga class to go to. I think it'd be fun.
You know, that made me think of you know, signing up for a boutique fitness experience, because some places offer like the first class is for free. So City Fitness offers a complimentary day pass. Although it's not like a boutique fitness experience, but you can do like a studio class, like a yoga or a Pilates or like a cycling together. Then you can maybe like lift weights together, and then you could sit down and relax with the hydro massage. And there's like 2 or 3 chairs so that you can sit next to each other and just, you know, kind of relax after a beautiful, you know, date of physical activity.
I love that idea. I'm such a fan of the like do all of the free trials on everything. There's always going to be like first time discounts, free trials. Like that's keep an eye out for those.
Another thing I was thinking, like Philadelphia rec centers.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice out. And you could just maybe like grab a basketball somewhere. You can order it maybe off of Amazon or go to Five Below and get a basketball and hit the basketball court. You can like make cute games up, you know, between the two of you. Like play for each other's love or something, like love and basketball or something. Or you can hit the track. Like there is an open track at Hunting Park and Simon Gratz Fields and, you know, other rec centers throughout the city. But again, free physical activity and just a great chance to, you know, hang out with your boo or just get to know somebody.
Oh yeah, I think like horse is like my favorite game. So
Yeah.
like if I'm playing basketball, which I'm horrible at, but it's a good time.
I barely can
you
dribble.
Can really see Okay, good. We'll be fine then.
Okay, so then we gotta eat.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when you and I took a free cooking class at Vetri Community Cooking?
It was so much fun.
I think this would be a perfect date night idea. It's a team building activity, plus there is free food.
Yes, a whole meal.
A whole meal.
With dessert.
Kind of like an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert.
And that's such a classic date trope. You get in dinner, but you get to make it too. Like, perfect.
I know. I think that's cute. All right. Let's kind of think about or kind of transform something that might usually be pricey, but something that you can get on a budget. You can see opera here in the city of Philadelphia for $11 through a program called Pick Your Seat, Pick Your Price. I wish a lot of more institutions had this, especially in these economic times. But this is a concept through Opera Philadelphia. Every seat, every performance, from the box seats to the balcony, is available for $11. Or there are some tickets that are being offered for a higher price of your choosing. So if you do pay a higher amount, that money goes towards supporting the program and gives other people an opportunity to go see the opera for that $11 ticket price.
People really underestimate programs like that working, like the kind of pay scale. But like, I know plenty of places that are able to like entirely support themselves just based on the generosity of like people who know they can afford more, and like supplementing those who can't. And I think that's incredible. Also, when I think of opera, I think of kind of like highbrow, expensive, like, you know, nice outfit type date. And it might be something like, especially, you know, I'm younger, I'm 25. It doesn't come top of mind for me when I'm thinking about like, oh, I could afford to do this.
Right.
I could afford to take someone out. So that's really cool.
I love it. I went to a open mic comedy event hosted by Nicole Phoenix, who's been a friend of the podcast. She's so funny. She's a Philadelphia comedian. She has been running these events over at Two Locals, which is the brewing company in University City. And they have this event where you just come through, you grab a drink, and you just laugh your butt off, okay? And so...
Oh, there's no cover?
There's no cover. So
wow, that's awesome.
So a lot of the crowd ends up actually being like comics. And so you can like meet people and, you know, kind of fellowship with other creatives in the city. And so again, just pull up. Make sure you follow Nicole on so_extra XTRA and follow Two Locals on Instagram so you can keep up with some of the latest events that they have.
That's awesome.
You know, Abby, another classic that we have in the city are all of the options of museums.
Yeah. And great date idea is going to see some art. My go-to spot, which I have absolutely talked about before on the show, is the Fabric Museum and Workshop. It is in Center City. I love it. It's a free museum. They're always doing cool new textile related exhibits. But my favorite event that they put on is on the weekends, they have screen printing classes. I don't know if you know what screen printing is, but basically it's like you can create a design and then you take it and you put it on a screen with like chemicals and stuff. And then you're able to basically use that as a stencil of sorts to put like this image on a bunch of different types of fabrics or paper or all of these types of things. And they have a class on the weekends that I've been to before. It's a ton of fun. I got to take my artwork home with me. It was $10 to go do screen printing and have a little piece of art with you. Then I stayed at the museum and went and walked around. They also, during the screen printing classes, they give you a little tour of their workspaces. So you get to see, you know, some of the artists that have worked there in the past and the things that are being worked on right now.
Kind of like a behind the scenes type of vibe.
Yeah, a little workshop tour. So it's super fun. And I recommend that to everybody who is interested in getting their hands a little dirty on a first date or a date. Another thing that I've always wanted to do that I know has been around for a while, but I've just like haven't gotten around to do is Dinos After Dark at the Academy of Natural Sciences. Have you been to this?
No.
Trenae? Okay, I like have planned to go to it and like didn't end up going like 2 or 3 times, and I really just need to go now. So the Academy of Natural Sciences once a month has Dinos After Dark. It's usually towards the end of the month, and basically they open up the museum for free. This is a pay what you wish event, and you go, you can see the entire museum is open. They have beer available in Dino Hall.
Cute.
So you can go buy some beer and hang out with the dinosaurs and stuff, and then you can meet scientists. They have people who work at the museum come and you can talk to them. They have food pop-ups, and usually every month is like a different theme. It's a after hours family friendly event at the Academy of Natural Sciences, but you can get your beer. So like, you know, bring the kiddos, get your beer.
We can leave them at home somewhere.
Or yeah, exactly. But for a date, leave them at home.
I like this because I've known the Academy of Natural Sciences as a great place for field trips and a great place to take the kids. But I love when an institution thinks about like, how can we create this space for the adults? Like adults also like science and science facts. And this kind of brings out that child, you know, inside of us all.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I feel like for me, this is a great way, like kind of like pregame to whatever else you're going to do in the night. You can go to Dinos After Dark, get a beer, see the museum, and then walk to the next thing.
You know, speaking of pay what you wish, you know, we can't forget the art museum is a pay what you wish on the first Sunday of every month and every Friday after 5 p.m. So it's like art after dark. It's kind of romantic because I've seen couples sitting on the main steps inside the museum enjoying the live music on those Friday nights, and they're holding hands and they're just walking around the various exhibits, which again, another great option for date night.
Yeah. Yeah, that totally reminds me too of the Barns when it's free on the first Sunday of the month. They have like live music sometimes or performances. That's such a great way to do a cheap date. And it's every month too, so you can always look forward to it. Speaking of discounts at various Philadelphia institutions, if you have an EBT card, we did an episode a couple months back about all the discounts you can get. It was ranged everything from like theater tickets to museums. So definitely check that out. And same if you have a SEPTA key. We did a whole episode about that. So we'll have the link to both of those in the show notes if you're interested in some more thrifty events.
Ways to save. And definitely stay connected to other events and happenings in the city in our Hey Philly newsletter. All right, Abby, thank you so much for joining me and for bringing all these great date ideas.
Of course, I'm happy to be the resident cheapo.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about cheap dates under $25, share this with a friend. Rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.